Good morning, everybody, and welcome again to another one of my inspirations. Denise Guru here again, your author and healer and wise woman, herbalist, all of the above. But anyways, I have been listening to a lot of other blogs, things on YouTube. The Leak Project is one of my favorites, and I don't remember who he had on, but they were talking about the latest book. It had to do with the Anunnaki, and so many people were commenting about the Anunnaki. The Illuminati, the 1% of the controllers of our world, and when you get into the Pizzagate stuff and you get into the Luciferian worship and the torture and rape and murder of children and people, just for their personal gain, it just really got me thinking, because everybody was commenting about how horrible this is, and some are waking up to this and finding this information, and that's just horrible. How can they do that how can they do that to humanity? How can they treat people like that? That's just horrible. We need to change. We need to do this. And how come things aren't changing? And we hear all about all the changes that are coming into the world, and how come I don't see them? And what is this? I'm waiting and waiting, and nothing is happening. And then a friend of mine sent me a blog, and it had to do with the energies of the equinoxes, or no, it was the eclipses. And the person who wrote the blog was talking about the energies of these eclipses and what the energies mean. And here it is, March 1st, and I know there was one February 26th, and I did feel a shift in the energies. I did feel a shift within myself, and I was less reactive. My husband tends to set me off very easily. He knows how to push my buttons. And I've just noticed that the last month, when he tries to push my buttons and set me off, it's just like I just feel hurt. And I don't argue back with him, because that's exactly what he expects. And I just stop and I just look at him, and I just feel that hurt, that pain inside, and I try to send that energy back to him and not say anything, and just kind of either stand there or walk away. A couple of times I just tell him, why do you have to be so mean? You're just mean. So anyways, that's what I've been feeling with these energies. And I know, a lot of them have to do with new beginnings or with the, Venus going into retrograde, it could be a lot of endings, or it could be a lot of relationships that have been stagnant that are coming back together. They're finding a new common ground, and I think that's what's happening a lot in our world today. We talk about the return of the goddess, return of the divine feminine, and it's really not a matriarchal thing that's going on. We've already been through that. We've already lived that. What is happening now is the equality thing. Couples are coming together, and they are realizing that, hey, we're in this together, and we need to cooperate. We need to be in balance. So, if we want this relationship to work out, we need to bring energies to it, equal energies, and put equal time, and each of us do our part, and not one just suck off of the other. and not the other one, expect the other one to, you know, take all of this on. So it's a time for us to come together, and it's a time for us to be able to express both masculine and feminine energies, feelings and emotions. And men, this means you. And there's so many men out there that are patching into this, and they have the strength and the vulnerability and the opening of the heart, and it's just amazing to watch some of these men do this. So anyways, this vlog was talking on you know, the energies that are in now, and with the eclipses, and you know, this is supposed to be this point, this day, these next couple days are supposed to be the most exciting, energetic days of the whole year. And so I wanted to talk a little bit again about what's going on in our world, and why so many people are saying nothing is changing. And, you know, and getting back to the Anunnaki and the Illuminati and the Archons and, you know, humanity's enslavement, and you know, it goes right back to our ascension and our growth, and where we allowed ourselves to be in this, let's say, food chain. That's a perfect word, food chain. And I commented on one of the Leak Project's videos about, you know, this Anunnaki thing, and it's like, you know, everybody is so horrified about how they're treated, but they turn around and do not give a second thought about all the other beings that we share this planet with. And as long as we still think that we are the supreme being, that everything here is here to serve us, that's exactly what's going to be happening, keep happening to us. What you give out is what you get back. So, you know, even the reptilian Illuminati, you know, we've heard this how many times? Well, you know, if they want to eat meat, why is it so bad when we want to eat one of them? You know, truth. Come on, people, think about it. I mean, wake the hell up. And, you know, and that's what the person that wrote this book about the Anunnaki and stuff, that's exactly what he replied to my comment when I was talking to him about this. He goes, I'm a vegan. My wife has a great vegan website, and I checked it out, and it is great. It's a fantastic website. And he said, I agree with you 100%. As long as we think that every other being on this planet is beneath us, and it's just here for our personal gain, our consuming, our monetary gain, for them, that's their choice. Nothing will change. It's like the missing link to growth and awareness. Until you come to that realization, you will be on a plateau of spiritual growth. You will not be able to go any further. And and it's funny because it took a long time for me to get brave enough to start saying what I've been feeling for a long time. And people are going, oh, no, I totally agree with this. And it was such an easy thought process, concept, belief, whatever you want to call it. When the light clicked on, it was like, it resonated so deeply with me that I just had to bring it to you guys today. And I know there's a lot, the vegan movement is so huge right now. And it's exciting because this missing link is finally happening. People are finally waking the hell up and going, yeah, why do I expect it to be treated any differently if I don't treat anybody else differently? It's the same thing as your animals. Those animals, that domesticated animals that are in your household. You what you project to them, what you think and how you treat them and how they feel is what you get in return. And so until we make that final step into waking up to the fact that, here we go again, Gaia is a living being who is a higher vibrational being than we are, and we're just trying to catch up to her. And we have to remember that the animal kingdom is part of her natural realms. And until we realize that we need to change how we live and how we see the animal kingdom in our planet, for many of you, nothing will be changed. A little bit will change, but you will plateau. You will stop growing. And, you know, it's like this last door. It's like you open this door, you go, oh my gosh, I see the light. We are all one. Everybody walks around, whoa, we're all one, we're all one. It's easy to say, but it's not easy to live, is it? And so we need to stop saying it, and we need to start living it and walk through that final door. And when you do that, the knowledge, the expansion just hits you like, you know, and everything around you just starts to move so much faster. And like I said, that plateau that you've been stuck on all of a sudden goes away. It's like, you know, your weight program, you know, it's like, come on, people, I can't lose weight, but I ate my steak and my chicken breast for dinner and lunch, don't I, you know? And I could go on and on about that. I mean, about the irradiation that goes on in the meat. I mean, the irradiation in meat is so high and so strong. It's like having 1,000 radiographs, going to the doctor and having 1,000 of them. It's just off the charts. It's ridiculous. And they test us. Oh, well, they can eat that. They're a little sick, but they can still do that. We want to keep them a little sick because we don't want them to wake up, and we want to keep them as slaves. You know, so the missing link here is looking at all of the other beings on our, you know, and I keep saying, you know what they should do in grocery stores? They should actually play the sounds of a slaughterhouse. You know, the pigs screaming when people are bashing them in the head, or when they're putting the electric probes up their anus. You know, I mean, there's so many things that people don't understand what's going on, and you people are ingesting this energy. I mean, come on, the controllers know all about that. This is what they feed off of. You know, so if we had to go into the meat department in the grocery store and listen to how horrific those sounds are, would you be able to purchase that pork, that beef, that chicken? Most of us would not be able to do it. If we all, you know, we've heard it so many times, if we all had to murder and torture our own animals to eat, we wouldn't do it. And I think that would be really a cool way. But of course the grocery stores wouldn't do it because they wouldn't be able to, you know, sell any meat. But, you know, it's also like another point that I was talking about on one of these channels, and we were commenting back and forth. It's like, so we know that the agenda, you know, the darkies, they're living off of our energies, the lower vibrational energies. I mean, they cannot raise their vibration. So they feed off of our lower vibrational energies, you know, our sorrows, our sadness, our illness, our anger, our reactions, our hate, the duality, sex, just to have sex, you know, you could care less about the person you're pumping, but all you're there is for that sexual release, and you can't wait to get to the next person. They feed off of all of that. So my thought was, it is like going to McDonald's for them when they hang around the slaughter plants. That energy, that that torture and horrific energy that is being released continuously. What do they say? We butcher 1 million animals a day or it's an hour. It's just some ridiculously large amount. If they're feeding off of this, I mean, because we consume this meat, we are in fact feeding them, the controllers, the ones that we need to stop. But nobody thinks about that. You know, so I talked about this before. Your growth and your ascension is through Gaia. And veganism is like the missing link here. And until we all live equally, no matter what kind of being you are, if we all live equally and harmoniously and cooperatively, things will not change for most of you. My life's already changing. It's changed so much. I mean, here I am doing these paltry little talks, you know, for a few of you, but that's how you start. I mean, so many people, that's how they started. So, you know, we have to get brave and we have to start saying, hey, this is not acceptable. And it is happening around. I mean, come on. It is, veganism is the largest growing movement right now. What did they say? They just had a 350% growth in Great Britain alone in the last year towards veganism. It's like people are waking up, you know, and I give them kudos for going out in the streets and taking on those who will not accept this. You know, it's like anything. You have to do the work. Ascension is not free. And that really gets to me when so much of the false light out there is like, oh, you know, we're all going to wake up together and we're all going to ascend together and you don't have to do anything. And, you know, just give me $5 right now, push the donate button to my website. And because they're telling people what people want to hear. Oh, I don't have to change how I live. I don't have to change my beliefs, but I'll get to ascend and I'll be able to wake up in the new world. That's not how it is. And really, we really don't want that. That's why we want change, because we don't want that to follow us. I mean, it's kind of redundant, isn't it? It's like, oh, we're going to go to the new world, but we're going to have the same thing that we have here. I mean, wake up, people, wake up. So, you know, that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's like, you know, everybody's going, well, they're eating their cheeseburger. Oh, I can't believe that I'm not ascending. I mean, what's going on here? I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't wait for everybody to save me because I don't want to do the work. I just want to get on the train ride and go, you know. I mean, it don't work that way, guys. Don't work that way, you know. Keep going out there and bashing the heads in of the alligators and the swampland, you know. Why? Because there's too many of them. I mean, we've already surmised that Gaia could take care of herself, and the world would keep going on if humanity was out of it, you know, and we're given a choice here and we have a chance to see better things. And so many of us, we don't want to do the work, you know. Like I always said, the journey is the destination, and nobody wants to do the journey. You know, they just want to sit at home and watch TV and eat bonbons and you know, and not everybody is to that extreme, but I'm just saying that there is so much truth into, you need to be the change that you want to see. And we've heard this and we've seen it, you know, how many times, and we all say it, but we don't incorporate it into our daily walk. So just think about it the next time you go pick up that pack of pork in the grocery store. Who are you feeding? You're not just feeding yourself. And what are you ingesting? remember the energies that you are ingesting. Ralph Nader wrote a book on it years ago, well, back in the 90s, about that. You are what you eat. And yes, there's some people, they will not wake up to this, and that's fine. That's their choice. But stop complaining about what's going on in our world and why our world isn't changing and why things aren't becoming easier for you. If you don't want to do the work and you don't want to change, it's not going to. But that's your choice. So anyways, that's my rant for today. And, for all those wonderful people out there that have all these vegan channels, I mean, Bite-Sized Vegan, have you listened to her? She is amazing. This young person, I mean, she's just amazing. So anyways, check her out, Bite-Sized Vegan. And the next time you want to complain about the aliens and the Anunnaki and the government, not doing the change, well, if you don't want to change, it's not going to happen. So anyways, get out there and be part of this great energy that's available for you. And be the change. So anyways, we'll talk to you later, guys. Okay? Bye.